Allow love to find you and stop trying so hard on your healing journey. This video is about how to reconnect with your truth and with your essence when you get lost. Have you ever had those moments when you're just triggered as fuck? Your mind is going a million miles an hour, emotions are threatening to totally take you over, and your body is rigid and anxious. Those times are the worst, right? It doesn't matter how much healing you've done, when you are in it, you are really in it. But you've already done so much inner healing, and you know there is a more resourced version of you in there that's capable of leading you through this trigger to calmer waters. It's just that when you are so overcome with the sensations of your triggers, it can be almost impossible to reconnect with a part of you that can help you get regulated again, which I call your essence. So it becomes this frantic hunt to try and find your essence. You become desperate to figure out the right answer, to problem solve your way through, even though all your efforts are spiraling you deeper and deeper into anxiety or depression. If this is resonating with you, you have found the right video. And you are going to learn about the cutting edge healing modality that will not only allow you to better navigate your triggers in real time, but also help you to heal those emotional triggers at the root so you experience them less frequently, for shorter duration, and less intensely. I am talking about parts work. If you are unfamiliar with parts work, check out this video and you will learn everything that you need to know to get started. If you have ever been lost in an emotional trigger before, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, because parts work is going to help you navigate that in a way that leads you to calmer waters every single time. Ain't nobody talking about parts work the way that I'm talking about parts work. Let's expand parts work. There is a lot of information on how to heal your parts when you are seeing through the eyes of your essence and you're looking at a part of you. That's what the entire internal family systems, or IFS methodology, is all about. But sometimes it is nearly impossible to unblend from your parts enough to access your essence. And the good news about that is that you can also heal and release your trauma when you are seeing through the eyes of your parts. This is where some real diehard IFS folks might call me a heretic, but I'm talking about this because healing happens when love and your vulnerability meet. So whether you are connecting with a part while seeing through the eyes of your essence, or you are connecting with your essence while seeing through the eyes of a part of you, profound healing can happen because it's about the relationship between the two. Here's how to heal your trauma when you are seeing through the eyes of a part of you. Healing is, of course, a relational process, which means it's an ongoing flow, but let me break it down into a generalized 3-step process to make it simpler. The first step is to let yourself be found by your essence. The second step is to listen to and trust what they say. And the third step is to let yourself be loved. Let's break each of these down and make them more practical. So step 1, stop trying so hard and let yourself be found by your essence. The first step is the biggest leap, but it is going to save you so much time, effort, and energy, especially when you are in a triggered state. This is the #1 trick that will help you find your calm through the chaos. Instead of frantically trying to find your essence again, switch your focus to letting yourself be found by your essence. Just create a little more space in your inner world to let them come find you. Just start listening to what they're already trying to tell you. Even asking yourself, if my most resourced self were here, what would that be like? That can be enough to get the momentum going in a positive, resource direction again. Because your essence is like the sun. Just because the clouds roll in doesn't mean the sun doesn't exist anymore. When you're feeling overwhelmed, lost, or in a panic, just stay put. Let the clouds part and let yourself be found by the love and wisdom inside of you again, even here. Step 2 is to listen to your essence and trust what they say. This one is much easier said than done. So often, parts want your essence to tell them what to do, as in, how do I fix this? Your essence can absolutely help you with this, and you might receive a clear answer for that right away, but often your essence knows that any action taken from that frantic, triggered state is not going to be the thing that will actually help. So your essence will first often respond with an answer that informs you of how to be instead of what to do. What I mean by this is your essence might say things like, you can't mess this up, I'm here with you, or you can trust yourself. This might frustrate some of your parts because they aren't clear on how that is actually going to help them solve the problem. But the way this advice helps you solve the problem is that it changes the way you are oriented toward yourself and toward life. And that change of orientation is going to open up more possibilities that will actually help. So whether you think the advice of your essence is actually going to solve the problem or not, I invite you to trust it and see what happens. Honestly, it has never failed to lead me to calmer waters in my inner world and more of my needs being met in the outer world. Because when I change my orientation, even and especially when it feels high stakes, more options for actually doing things become available to me that just weren't available when I was triggered and trying to desperately figure out what to do to fix it. If you're having a hard time hearing what your essence is saying, even just asking yourself, if my essence was trying to tell me something right now, what would they be trying to tell me? That can be enough to get started. And follow those hunches because they're enough to lead you through. Step 3 is to let yourself be loved. The first 2 steps are usually enough to lead you through your triggers. This 3rd step is what is really going to help heal your triggers at the root, so you experience them less often, less intensely, and for shorter duration. Letting yourself be loved is essentially the same as let yourself be treated better than you have ever been treated before. Healing happens when you treat yourself better than your parents did, than your abusers did, than capitalism does, and on and on and on. You learned to treat yourself the way you were taught to treat yourself growing up, either by your parents or your culture. When you treat yourself better, you reclaim your sense of unconditional worthiness and inherent value, and you rise above the dynamics that get you triggered. It can be an impossible leap for your parts to treat one another better than they were taught to. They might be stuck in that dynamic, but it is not impossible for your essence to treat your parts better. In fact, it's completely natural for your essence. It's what your essence is there to do, to remind you how to love yourself properly. And this isn't a matter of figuring out how to love yourself better or treat yourself better. It is a matter of tuning into the unconditional love your essence already has for you and being courageous enough to let it in, even and especially when the stakes feel highest. Even and especially when you feel unworthy of the unconditional love your essence has for you. You don't have to resolve those feelings of unworthiness before you receive the love of your essence. Actually, receiving the love of your essence is what resolves those feelings of unworthiness. Let yourself be loved and see what happens. You can get started with meeting your first part by downloading my free Meet a Part of You worksheet. It will walk you through the process of identifying a part of you and having your whole first conversation with them, step by simple step. Check it out using the link in the descriptions.